Hello, I'm Shiny Totodile, TT Wolf here. Welcome to another Burn the Pineapple, that one series that I do on occasion. Yay! Today's video is Apex's classes. Yeah, there we go. That spells words. Yay. Anyway, I have a somewhat outline of a script. And we're going to draw. That's way too thick. Let's try this one. That's the calligraphy. Where's the pixel pen? The pixel pen's the one I like. There we go. That's the good pen. Make it fit like here. That looks good. Alright, let's get into our subject. First up, what are Apex's classes? Well, in the current game, you got DPS, which will be shown by these awfully drawn bullets. Again, I use a mouse for these. This is mostly just for, like, background detail of me drawing. You have DPS. You have your supports, which are going to be the obvious plus sign. You got your defenders, going to be this little shield. And then you got your sonars. Because I don't want to drive that little squiggly thing, we're just going to draw this. Like a radar. And these classes remotely define each character. I mean, like, there's not like any that ignore the class's purpose, such as Valk, who definitely is a DPS and not a recon. Oh wait, she is. Anyway, other than the minor annoyance of the fact that the classes don't make any sense or have any impactful gameplay except for the recon class, we're going to fix that. First up is by defining our classes. We're going to keep the original three, but we're also going to add mobility, which will be resembled by Pathfinder's grapple. That's a grappling hook. Yeah. And then trash can. Alright. Let's begin by first defining what each of these classes, in my opinion, should give you a passive. First up, we're going to start with DPS, which basically just gives you fuses. Part of fuses passive being the double grenades. I feel like this fits because, well, it's kind of simple, kind of basic. Fuse is already a DPS, and I think you should say that way. Next up, you have the health. For health classes, bring back, they basically get 1 second off healing. I mean, the devs have been trying to go away from that, so maybe like 1 second off the revives. Good. Next up, defenders. For defenders, I'm going to say, like, okay, or maybe, since if they don't want to, like, reduce timers and such, since they've been seeming to do that less and less, healers get 2 extra slots for heals, and defenders would get 2 extra slots for shields, so, like, health and shields, you know, smart. Recons don't really need anything, they already got a passive being the sonar beacons. However, Pathfinder needs, like, you know, an actual passive, instead of the excuse of one he has. So the fact that Pathfinder is no longer going to be a recon because, well, he's going to be a mobility legend, but we'll get that. Next up, we got the mobility legends. Yeah, we're giving them bloody faster zipline speeds and faster movement speed when walking and crouching. That sounds about right. And then finally, you have trash cans, which selecting a trash can insta-perma-bans you from the game. Forever. Alright, now that we've defined those, now we need to figure out which legends go where. Well, we're going to do this in roster order just because that makes sense. First up, we got Bloodhunter, who would go in Sonar. We're going to draw Bloodhound as an orange bird. That's a bird. A very well-made bird, if I do say so myself. Bird. Yes, that is real bird. Alright, then you have the second character in the roster, Gibby. Gibby, we're going to grab the light blue preset color. We're representing Gibby as a bubble. They go in defenders, as they should. Wrong. That was a disguise. They go in supports. Well, he goes in support, because Gibraltar, Gibraltar, whatever the crap you want to call him, he is more supportive than he really is at defense, because defenses are supposed to lock down an area. Well, Gibraltar more just, like, throws a bubble over you. Very nice. Who's next? that should be Lifeline. And Lifeline, we're going to draw a little this. We're going to attempt to draw a Jock Drone in pure red. There we go. Yeah, Lifeline obviously goes in support. It's what she's meant to be, a support. Next up, we got Pathfinder Mobility, as I said previously. We're just going to draw him as a smiley face. Yay! Then you have Crutch, who's going in Trash Can. There. No. There. They get a purple dot. That's all they get. That's all they do. They deserve less than that. Next up, Bangalore. Bangalore's obviously DPS. Squiggly goes there. Also give Pathfinder real passive. I forgot to mention that during the Pathfinder statement. New passive is Infinite Zipline Grapple. Jump off and jump on. Next up, we got Caustic, which would be Defender. He gets this little green blob to represent gas and such. Caustic is just Caustic. Like, that's no doubt. Mirage. Mirage is actually getting a change, but the first legend that I think deserves to be changed. And that's the shooting a decoy scans you. So we're going to draw 2 lines with hair. There we go. That looks like Mirage. Totally. Totally looks like Mirage. Let me just like... There we go. Mirage. Turn that opacity up just a smidget. Alright. We got Mirage. Next up. Who's next on the roster? Oh yeah, it's Octane. There's no duh. What class Octane's gonna be? Mobility. We're gonna do this for stim. That remotely looks like a stim. Yay! Who's the next legend after Octane? Is obviously Watson. Lightning Bolt. Watson Defender. That's a no duh. Crypto still stays Sonar. Crypto just needs a passive, because Crypto doesn't actually have a passive. My opinion for Crypto is, well, Crypto's actually pretty strong. Just, like, write down some of the extra stuff with the drone that he can do as a passive. Instead of, he gets to see his drone. Yeah, that's literally what his passive is he gets to control his drone. Kinda dumb. That's a drone. Orange. There we go, that's a drone and definitely not a drunk Yoda with one eye. Who's the next legend on our list? Revenant. Now, y'all might think this is dumb, but in my opinion, Revenant's like a support. The Death Totem, the Silence. Those are both very supportive abilities, so we're going to put Revenant as this crappily drawn skull right here. That doesn't look half bad if you try to play it off as a side angle. After Revenant is obviously Loba, who again goes here with, like, boop, boop, boop. That's Loba. As a support, there's no doubt Loba's support. Alright, who's the next legend? Rampart. One of my personal favorites. Defender. I believe she's actually our last Defender, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to draw Bloody Minigun. Wah, wah, wah. That's legitimately a minigun. I don't know what to tell you. Everyone in reality confirms that minigun. After Rampart, we got Horizon, whose mobility. We're going to draw Horizon by doing this, and lowering the opacity on our light blue like 25, and doing this. Pro art skills, yeah. Fusey, he's DPS. We're going to draw him as Grenade. Badly drawn Grenade. So let me, like, bucket. Bam. Pro skill arts. Yeah, that looks like remotely like a grenade. Woot woot. We got Valk. Valk is currently a DPS. Well, I mean, a sonar, but she's obviously like DPS. Like, yay, she scans people when she flies. Fuse scans people in his ultimate as well. Neither of them are sonars. That's a jetpack. Then we got Seer, who, again, recon. He's gonna be an eyeball. I think this balances out the roster a lot more. Support has some representation of actual support legends. Um, DPS is no longer like catching. DPS it no longer includes Horizon, Octane, Revenant. Uh, that's it. I feel like I'm missing someone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Nope, that's the roster. Probably. Alright, well, that's going to wrap up this episode of Apex's classes. I'm just going to write Apex just to like, emphasize classes. Yeah, this is not looking too terrible considering the fact that I'm on mouse and keyboard. Yeah, that's going to wrap up this episode. Later, mates.